Hi everybody, thank you for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. Today I have this very beautiful box. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. I just think it looks really elegant. This is something that I have designed at the request of one of my lovely customers, Hesse. She asked me a few weeks ago if I could design a box that, and I will show you what it holds. She had a very specific need for it. So the ribbon just slides off and then the lid will lift out like that, and inside, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can move the light to make it a bit better. Two little compartments, and in these we've got two Nespresso capsules, which was a very specific request that she wanted it to fit to. And then there's a little gap in the front where I don't actually have any, but you could drop some nice sugar sachets, or I guess you could put a little chocolate or something in there. So it is designed for the Nespresso capsules, but of course you could put anything you want in there. This is all hand stamped and coloured using the brand new blends, so I will show you exactly how I did that. This one is black obviously, and Bermuda Bay is the colour that I've used. Let me just pop this back on and I'll pop it to one side. And this is a gorgeous brand new stamp set called Colour Me Happy, and we're going to start by stamping with this flower all over a piece of Whisper White cardstock, which measures, I'll just get the measurements, I've turned the page, it measures 5 1/8 by 5 5/8 of an inch. All of the dimensions will be over on craftycarolinecreates.com as usual. So I've mounted the stamp. I'm going to use Memento ink, which is what is recommended when we are using blends, the stamping blends. So I'm just going to ink this up. I'm just going to stamp all over the cardstock. You've seen me do this many times before. Now, don't need to necessarily go right to the edges because we are going to make the lid reinforced. So we are going to lose a bit of the edges. So we're just going to do something like that. And then we're going to colour it using our brand new blends. Now, blends are alcohol markers that Stampin' Up! Launched on the 1st of November. And they come in 12 different Stampin' Up! Colours, of which for each shade you get a dark and a light. These are Pink Pirouette. They're double tipped and they melt together beautifully, so you get a really nice variation, graduation in the colour. They're really beautiful. I do have a special offer on at the moment where you're going to get free Memento ink, you're going to get a colour lifter for free, various things for free if you buy blends from me. So do pop over to craftycarolinecreates.com and all that information is on there. But I'm just going to show you how we're going to colour these flowers in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, and my camera is going to fall over. I always talk about getting a new tripod arrangement, but I know you love it when my camera falls over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is the lighter shade of Pink Pirouette. You can see here it says light Pink Pirouette upside down, and I'm just going to colour in very lightly all of my flower. Okay. Pink Pirouette was perhaps not the best colour to use on camera, but you can see that. And then I'm going to take my darker Pink Pirouette and I'm just going to very lightly shadow that around the centre of my flower. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with my light and just very gently feather that out. And you can see they just melt in together, and hopefully you're seeing that dark centre melt into the lighter outer. Hopefully you can see that. Should probably have done this during the day when the light is a bit better, but it's a bit difficult. So you want to keep doing and colouring all of those flowers. Let me zoom back out. There we go. Keep going and colouring all of the flowers, and you will come up with something that looks like this. You can see that lovely darker centre of the flower lightening out. And now we're ready to start making our box. So we're going to do some scoring. So let me move these out of the way and bring in my scoreboard. Okay. And yeah, we can just about see the top there. Perfect. Right, starting by scoring this, and we are going to score it at 1/2 inch and ½ inch and 1 1/4 inches on 4 sides. So ½ inch, 1 1/4 inch, turn it round, and ½ inch, 1 1/4 inches, and the last one, here we go, ½ inch and 1 1/4 inches. Okay, perfect. Oh, don't put the scoreboard away yet. Lots more scoring to do actually. Right, now next thing we need to score is our base, and for this we have a piece that measures 5 1/16 of an inch by 5 7/16 of an inch, so just a smidgen more than 5 inches in one dimension and just a smidgen more than 5 1/2 inches in the other direction. Okay, and we're going to score this on all 4 sides at 1 1/4 inches. 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/4 inches, and 1 1/4 inches. Oh, there we go. Okay, on all 4 sides. And then I have 2 pieces of pink pirouette cardstock. These measure 3 1/2 inches square, and we're going to score these on 4 sides at 1 inch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and bring this one in. 1 and 2, 3, and 4. Okay, perfect. Right, now I can put the scoreboard away. Okay, focusing back in, and I'm going to use my bone folder, which has of course vanished. Here it is. Put the stamp set on top of it. I'm going to fold and burnish all of the score lines I've just made. So we'll do these 2 first, as I have them still on my table right in front of me. Okay, and these are going to make our little boxes where our Nespresso pods are going to fit, but of course you could put anything in there. You know, truffles would work really well. So just folded and burnished, and then I'm going to cut up 2 on one side like that, flip it round and cut up the other 2 sides, and then I'm just going to notch out those corners and just cut them roughly in half. Okay, so do that on that side, notch that out, do that on that side. Oh, oh. There we go, and there, and then just cut them roughly in half. Okay, oh, didn't cut through that one. Okay, I'll just do this one really quickly. I should have probably done one of them in advance, but I didn't. Let's cut that there. Here we go. I'm very excited actually, because this is going to go out on Friday, and next Friday I'm going to be heading to Solihull for Stampin' Up's on-stage demonstrator events. I'm going to meet a lot of my team for the very first time, and lots of old demonstrator friends as well, so I'm very much looking forward to that. If you are going to be in Solihull for on-stage, do come and say hi. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So now we've done that, we've got our 2 little boxes like this. Now we are going to put the fuse slightly different to if you were making up a normal box, and normally you would put it on this, you'd fold over the flap and put the fuse here. We're going to keep the flaps down and put the fuse on the side that is facing up. There we go. 1 there, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, when we fold this up, fold the flap on the outside like that. Okay, now it's going to be fine because we are not going to see those when we make up a box. You'll see that in a little while, so you won't see those flaps, but what you will see inside is a beautiful sort of seamless box. So we'll do this one. There we go. There we go. Okay, so those are our 2 little boxes made up there. we're going to make our base box up in very much the same way. So we're just going to fold and burnish those 4 score lines. There we go. And then just cut up each corner. There we go. Snip, snip. So notch these out, but you don't need to cut these ones in half. Should be plenty of room to glue them down. There. And then our last one here. Oh, I didn't cut that down. I'm just going to neaten that up there. Perfect. Right. And then this is when we're going to fold our flap over and put the fuse on the other side. This is a much more traditional sort of box construction. So I'm just going to fold those up and glue them this time inside. So the outside of our box, we don't see those flaps. Okay. And now, if we have done our measurements correctly, these two should fit perfectly in the top, which they do. There we go, fit those in very nicely. Now they do just fit in neatly, but you could, if you wanted to, put a little bit of Tombow between them just to help them, to make sure they're not going to fall out. If you have Tombow that's working. There we go, just squeeze those together and that will just keep them nicely fixed in. Okay, and then we're just going to make our lid, put that glue back on, and we're going to bring in the stamped piece and we're just going to fold and burnish those score lines again that we made. Okay, fold and burnish, fold and burnish, fold and burnish. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to bring in our scissors, and what we're going to do a little bit different. If you see the corner, if I can get that picked up, hopefully you can see there, you got a square and then 3 little rectangles around the perimeter. So the first score line we're going to cut up past the first score line and the second score line. We're going to do that on the second as well. So we've made 2 flaps that go past 2 of the score lines. Going to cut this off and cut that off. So you've kind of removed an L shape from the bottom and you're left with a little flap like this. Then we're just going to notch out the corners there and notch out the little flap that you are left with. I have done a lot of reinforced boxes and this is the technique that you use for them all. So I'll just do the next one. So up 2. Okay, I'm going to cut that off there, cut that off there, that flap off, notch those out, and then finally here. Okay, so we're left with this sort of shape on one end, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do the same here. That off. Now you can see the blends do bleed through paper, so do make sure you're resting on grid paper or some scrap paper so you don't get them bleeding through onto your table. But I think they kind of look nice from the other side actually. Because they are alcohol markers, they do bleed like that through the paper. Okay, now my battery light has come on, so hopefully we can finish this before I run out of battery. Been charging for a little while. It must be getting old, this battery pack. Okay, so we're left with that sort of shape, and now to build this up, what we're going to do, we're going to put fuse along those long strips here, here and here, and then we're going to put fuse on the back of the small strips. From here and one here. Fold those up. Fold those up. Okay, and then fold those flaps over like that and just press that down, and you get a really nice sturdy lid by doing this. I'm just going to go around with my bone folder. Okay, the battery didn't survive, but hopefully you got to see me making up the lid. And all I've done is popped it on the base and tied some of this gorgeous, this is the shimmery ribbon. It isn't in Paint Pirouette, it is powder pink, but I think it just about goes. All that's left to do is add this gorgeous oh hello. Should have stamped a bit closer, shouldn't I? It looks better when they are closer like that. This oh hello, this comes from the Colour Me Happy set again, oh hello. So I have that, and I have a scrap, hopefully, of Whisper White cardstock. So Memento ink again, just because I have it to hand. We're not going to use this with the blend, so we could use any black ink. Oh hello, stamp that down. And then I'm just going to trim this out with my scissors. Be careful because it is still wet. Memento does just take a minute more to dry, I find, than normal Stampin' Up inks. Is that because it's alcohol based itself? I'm not sure why, but it just takes a little minute more to dry, I find. So I cut out my oh hello. Then I have some of my mini Stampin' Dimensionals, or I did, here they are. Put my measurements on top of them. So I'm just going to peel these off. Stick those down on top. There we go. Do you like these little mini dimensionals? Okay, and then I'm just going to stick that down on my box, just level with the edge there. Oh, not very straight. Or is it straight and I even cut the end straight? Go straighten that up a little bit. There we go, and cut that off there. And there we go, two very beautiful little gift boxes, I think, with that little compartmentalization. I was talking to our Stampin' Up country manager actually recently, Paula, and she questioned whether compartmentalization was a word. I think it is, and this is a box with two little compartments. Thank you very much, Hessa. I hope you like your box. Remember, if you have any questions or would like any Stampin' Up product or any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.